And now it's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. Here on a Tuesday morning, another frosty morning in the Cedar City, but the sun's about to come up and we're about to go on the air. We are on the air for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We'll be talking with a representative from Mount Juliet City Government momentarily. But first, when it comes to emergencies, time and expertise matter. Since becoming part of the Vanderbilt health system, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital now provides Vanderbilt-level care to every patient that walks through the emergency room doors and beyond. Over the last 2 years, Vanderbilt has invested millions in Wilson County, including more than $1 million to support a new ambulance base and Life Flight grounded ambulance located at the hospital. This investment also helps support Wilson County's Emergency Management Agency in hopes of reducing response time for all patients. Vanderbilt University Medical Center's Department of Emergency Medicine is nationally recognized for its leadership in training and research. Patients can be confident the Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital Emergency Department upholds the same standard of care. Transitioning patient care responsibilities to Vanderbilt's emergency medicine physicians reflects the hospital's strong commitment to the citizens of Wilson County. It is one more way that Vanderbilt is prepared to respond quickly and professionally to critical and timely needs, most on a daily basis for the last 2 or 3 days, I hope. American Red Cross Blood Mobile going to be at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital today, this blood drive, from 12 noon to 5 p.m., and I take it that it's not too late to call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit the redcrossblood.org and enter Vanderbilt Wilson County to schedule an appointment. And at 1-800-RED-CROSS, 1-800-733-2767, or again, visit redcrossblood.org and enter Vanderbilt Wilson County to schedule an appointment. That's today, 12 noon to 5 p.m. Well, this morning, we're going to do something new in that we've got a new gentleman to talk to from the city of Mount Juliet, and I'm going to the telephone. Justin Beasley is there. Justin, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you all for having me. Just a couple of things to talk about in the city of Mount Juliet this week, for sure.
All right. Well, let me tell everybody that you are the public information person, and this is a new position, I think, and you're Mount Juliet's first. Is that right?
That is correct. Public information officer, basically easier to call me a PIO, but basically I'm running all the social media accounts. I'm doing the grant writing for the city with certain grants that we can find that will benefit what we have in our situation in the city of Mount Juliet. I'll be doing some public speaking for Kenny Martin as I'm doing this morning. I'll also have a chance to do some event coordination, like with the Christmas parade, Halloween in the park, you name it, trying to help out with that, some Chamber of Commerce stuff as well. I've been on the job about 3 months. I am loving every bit of it. We have a great team at City Hall, a great family-like atmosphere, and a ton of things to brag about in the city of Mount Juliet. My background is in television. I did sports for a while, and then since COVID, I did some news, so I'm definitely glad to tell the positive stories for the most part for the city, kind of get to know everybody, learn everything, and we've definitely hit the ground running, that's for sure.
Okay, well, let me, if you would, tell us a little bit about you, where you grew up, where you went to school, your education, kind of bring us up to date here on you and your background.
Yeah, I went to Middle Tennessee State University. I'm from Jackson, Tennessee. I was born in Memphis, kind of spent some time in Covington, Tennessee, graduated high school in Jackson, went to school in Murfreesboro at Middle Tennessee. That's where I met my wife. We have been together for 6 years. First job out of college was in Paducah, Kentucky, actually in the area near where the tornado hit Saturday in Mayfield, Kentucky. So, that was kind of close to home for me. Spent 2.5 years there, then transitioned to Nashville. I worked at Channel 4 for 4+ years. I definitely enjoyed my time there. But again, after I did sports, I kind of transitioned to news. And I was like, I don't want to do news forever. Yeah. But it's certainly, I couldn't complain too much because I had a job during the COVID part. And one of my counties, when I did hard news, was Wilson and Sumner County. Well, I got to know some people and found out that there was a job for the city PIO in Mount Juliet. And, I never really wanted to be a PIO, but this position was different than a traditional PIO that sends out press releases. There was a lot of chances to tell stories, to brag about what's going on in the city of Mount Juliet. I met with Kenny Martin, was sold on him, was sold on the family-like atmosphere, and I've enjoyed it ever since. I've been there for 3 months. I started September 12th, and there's not been a day that I haven't enjoyed coming to work. Obviously, we dealt with the tornadoes this weekend. That's the tough part of the job, but one that we enjoy giving people the information, especially good news when you can say, hey, nobody died from these tornadoes. We were very fortunate for sure. Yeah, that's about all I can say about me and myself and I.
Okay, well, I think since we'll be going to a break in about 5 minutes here, but I think before we get to last night's meeting, that maybe people would even be more interested and want to know just that there's been so much attention to Mayfield, Kentucky, and Bowling Green, and maybe some other places in Tennessee. Mount Juliet is not, even though I think y'all have had some damage there, it hasn't been at the forefront. So if you can, enlighten us on what happened in Mount Juliet Saturday morning.
Yeah, we had 7 significant structural damaged houses, but again, I won't bury the lead. No one was seriously hurt. We had one young male that had a laceration. He was even able to drive himself to the hospital. So we are very thankful that no lives were lost in this damage. About 60 to 80 homes impacted altogether from the latest numbers we have. Those areas include Willoughby Station, Mount Vernon, Chandler Point, Eagle Trace, Nighthawk Lane. We do know it was an EF1 tornado, the weather event on Saturday morning. That was confirmed by the National Weather Service. Those are winds of 105 miles per hour, 100 yards wide, and it traveled 7.6 miles from the Percy Priest area to Mount Juliet. The Red Cross was there on Saturday. We also had Rehab 23. We also had ML Rose join us on Sunday at the command center. They handed out, I believe it was 150 boxed lunches of burgers and waffle fries. So they were certainly instrumental in helping people get back on their feet, because a lot of the time Saturday, people were without power, but Middle Tennessee Electric did a fantastic job. They had power back up within 12 hours. I think most people would have signed up for that. So they got to keep their freezer food and got to get back in the house right before dark. So that was big news for them. That allowed us to cancel the Christmas parade just because there were so many things that were going on. And we actually pushed to this Saturday with a new start time of 3 o'clock. Many small businesses at this time of the year are banking on that Saturday before Christmas. So pushing it to 3 allows them to be open a little bit longer, especially on North Mount Juliet Road. And once again, we are, I said it to the media the other day, and I said it to Captain Chandler. So many communities prayed for us in March of 2020 when we were one of the areas most impacted by the tornadoes. Now it's our turn to pray for those in Mayfield and Arkansas and our surrounding states and counties that took a little bit more of the brunt force of this tornado, unfortunately, and that lives were lost. But luckily enough, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and He is working in that midst. So that's our prayer today, knowing that we were fortunate not to lose lives, specifically in Mount Juliet.
Okay, from what you have told us, it sounds like most of the damage is in residential areas. Is that right? Was any businesses that were hurt much?
Not that I know of, but we spent most of our time in Willoughby Station. We also made our way out to Nighthawk Lane on Sunday. So I don't know of any businesses that were severely impacted up and down North Mount Juliet Road, and it happened in that corridor between Lebanon Road and East Division. So, thankfully, not to my knowledge, I haven't heard of any business severely impacted, so that's good news.
Okay. Justin Beasley is with us. He's the Public Information Officer for the City of Mount Juliet. We're going to get to last night's Board of Commissioners meeting after we go to this break. And again, a reminder that the blood drive, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital today from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcrossblood.org and enter Vanderbilt Wilson County to schedule an appointment. We'll take a break now here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And now let's check back in with Commander Chuck with on-time traffic, see what's happening out there on those roadways. And traffic is brought to you by Bates Ford, located at 1673 West Main Street. They got a low-price tire guarantee on all tires every day, up to 30 days after the sale. They beat any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. And you can call them at 444-8221. And here's Commander Chuck.
Good morning. Watching traffic volume increase quite a bit coming down the interstate here on 40 eastbound, coming in from Hickman County into Dixon County, where we did see a lot of radar about maybe 45 minutes ago on I-40 through parts of Dixon County around 8:40. Give yourself extra time as it builds through Mount Juliet right now, down the interstate on I-40 west coming out of Wilson County. Ellington Parkway at Spring Street, it appeared to be a two-car wreck there. Princess Hot Chicken now available for catering during the holiday season. Check them out online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
At Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, world-class care is a heartbeat away. In fact, we offer the same world-class attention Middle Tennessee has come to rely on from a Vanderbilt Health hospital. Supported by over 200 specialties, an expanded emergency department staffed with Vanderbilt Health physicians 24/7, and greater investments in life-saving technologies and care. It's just one more way we're making healthcare personal.
Hi, I'm Mark Hinesley, president of the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. What are your favorite small businesses or restaurants in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Watertown? TNCommunity.com can give you local places for all of your shopping needs this season.
Hi, I'm Melanie Minter, president and CEO of the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce, and I invite everyone to visit the website TNCommunity.com. If you're a business in Wilson County, we want to promote you. If you're a consumer in Wilson County, we encourage you to shop, eat, and play all day, every day.
9 local banks join forces again by partnering with all 3 chambers and plan to execute the TN Community Initiative, encouraging you to shop small businesses.
Please choose which participating businesses you want to support. Check out Shop, Eat, and Play businesses in Lebanon,
Mount Juliet,
and Watertown.
Every business was a small business. Let's support our community by coming together to support our friends and neighbors. Pick up your bucks at any participating bank location. For more information regarding the TN Community Initiative, call any Chamber of Commerce in Wilson County.
We continue here on this Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. Our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. I'm going to remind you again that Jeff Hallam's has started it's called FAM Essentials. It's Faith and Action Ministry, a 501c3 nonprofit. They're going to have open house this Thursday. He'll be here tomorrow to talk about that, and something I'm sure you'll want to find out more about. With me this morning, Justin Beasley, Public Information Officer for the City of Mount Juliet. We've talked about the storm last Saturday morning and the damage to Willoughby Station and a few other places, but relatively minor compared to what happened in some other places. And we're going to get to last night's Board of Commissioners meeting. In Mount Juliet, instead of having a city council, you have a Board of Commissioners. Same thing, just a different name. But I take it, Justin, you were there, and you can tell us a little bit about what took place.
Yes, sir. And just to preface to everybody listening, 10-year-old me would laugh that I'm working in city government because I really didn't have interest in it and really wasn't aware of everything that our commissioners do in cities growing up. So I'm kind of learning all the lingo and trying to understand everything that's going on around me at these meetings. They can move pretty quick, but basically for my part, some of the biggest things that happened last night. It was a meeting that lasted till 10, so we actually had a lot to talk about. But we did some redistricting. We approved those plans that will be implemented. We had some discussion with liquor stores as well. Also, with the fire department, we did some. We're in the works of doing some rebudgeting in order to purchase a new fire truck. And basically, what Jamie Luffman has done, our fire chief, is to make sure that we're going to do our best to save money to buy a truck now as opposed to later and spend maybe $130,000, $140,000 $1,000 more with inflation and the way it goes to to commit to a company as soon as possible and put our name on a truck where we can buy one at a value that probably wouldn't exist in another year when we absolutely need one for our new fire station. So that's where we are right now. We also got a grant approved as well that our deputy fire chief, Joey Edwards, was able to find as well, and got complimented from Scott Hefner as far as, just finding extra monies that are outside of the capital budget. So that always helps our city, and that's my job as well, to find those that will be able to help the city with my grant writing role as well, with the public information officer role. So a lot done last night at the meeting, but we have this every Tuesday, every Monday, every second Monday and fourth Monday of the month. Well, the way the calendar works, we haven't had one in 3 weeks. Then we had the tornado last weekend, so there was a ton to get to on the agenda Monday night, and we had a good crowd there as well. But that's the last one before Christmas, so now everybody can enjoy the fruits of their labor, of their hard work this year, and spend time with friends and family.
Let me ask you about the redistricting. And you were telling me off the air before we started that you went to 10 o'clock last night. That's a pretty long meeting. The redistricting, was there much controversy about that? I know that when people's boundaries change and they gain some and lose some, and I guess that happened there. There can be some ruffled feathers sometimes, and some feel like they're getting the short end of the stick. Was there any discussion about any of that, or was it all relatively calm?
From what I saw at the city commission meeting last night, and what I saw when they were initially proposed and brought up in the workshops, I will say I thought they were very cordial. I mean, Rob Ely, our GIS technician, he does a fantastic job and understands everything as far as the maps and how to do it in regulation. And really, I mean, he did such a fantastic job. I don't think there could have been much of an argument either way. There might have been a couple of streets changed and a couple of things that the commissioners, had to agree on and pull and tug and eventually get. But it was a good job done, and I don't think there was too much of a fuss either way. But I'm glad that it's in our rearview mirror and we got it done at this point.
Jamie Luppman, the fire chief, has been on with us lots of times, and of course he's chomping at the bit to get that new fire station going. Do you know anything about, has ground been broken for that? I can't remember. I try to keep up with too many things sometimes myself.
Yeah, ground has been broken. We actually visited it. Me and Joey Edwards visited last, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday, and they've got the walls up on that bad boy almost, and probably at this point due. I mean, they have laid the footers, and you can actually see where the bays are going to be. We stepped foot inside, and you can see just how sturdy, the inside is with the communications room as far as being tornado proof. You can even see the layout inside of, where the beds are going to be, where the common area is going to be with the kitchen, where the offices will be. It is, it is really coming together. The guys out there are working extremely hard, and the people that work that, at least that are laying the concrete and putting the bricks on, did the same thing with Green Hill High School. So you see how pretty that building is. It's definitely got our fire chief super excited, and I think it'll be up around April or May, and we'll hire about a month out. So it's we're rocking and rolling. We're excited because they're certainly on schedule.
And he is, as we say, chomping at the bit to get that new fire engine, and already making provisions for that. So that's good. And I understand too from talking with other fire chiefs and so on. It's not like going out here and finding a vehicle you like and taking it home. Most of the times these are custom made. There's a lot that goes into this. Maybe he's got one that's already in existence that he's trying to get, but sometimes a fire engine's not that easy to come by.
It's not, and Commissioner Bill Trevette brought up a good point. Because I'm learning as commissioners are more about the fire personnel, but he's like, if we get another one of these engines, is it going to be the same brand as the engines we have? So if we need to replace something, we already have something. And from what I heard from Chief Jamie Luffman last night, is this new engine is going to, have the tools of where if you need to replace something, you can get it pretty readily available, maybe at Lowe's and something that's going to be here a little sooner. So that's going to streamline the process a lot because with the fire department, if you need 3 things, you don't just order 3, you need 5 or 6 or 7 to be able to make sure that you always have one present in case something goes wrong. And those guys work hard at cleaning their engines and making sure everything is replaced to make sure that anytime there's a fire they got to get out to or a medical, that they've got their equipment and it's ready and it's rocking and rolling, and they do a fantastic job. But yeah, it's he's chomping at the bit. I couldn't say it any better, Cole.
All right, I want to bring up something else we can talk a little bit about here, because Mount Juliet's been around for a long time, a number of years anyway, and you're the first public information officer. Kenny Martin, the city manager, has probably been the biggest cheerleader. I know he has been on the program here for Mount Juliet. I'm kind of surprised that he is sharing a spotlight with you.
Man, I joked with him. I said, man, eventually I'm going to be the city manager doing his job. I joke about it, but no, I'm so happy to be there because there's so much on his plate. He works so hard 7 days a week and cares about Mount Juliet, where, if I can speak at a chamber event, if I can do radio for him, if I can, field some calls, answer some emails, and just take anything off his plate, there's no job too big or small that I'm willing to step out of my role to be able to help him out in. And I hope that I've been a blessing to him, but I do joke with him. I'm like, man, I'm just doing all the public speaking and the new face of the city, but I'm thankful that he trusts me in it. And but I'm definitely going to give him a hard time, because that's me and Kenny, that's how we show love to each other. We pick at each other, and I'm thankful to have a boss like that you love working for and you're excited to come into work for.
All right, we got about 3 minutes left this morning. I want to turn to sports for a minute. You were saying you were in sports in television. How interested? Do you have some favorite teams? Tell we always talk about the Titans, but tell us a little bit about sports and from your perspective.
Man, I've got an awful list of favorite teams. I grew up a Cowboys fan. My dad was a season ticket holder from 90 to 2000. My mom was in labor with me, and we actually had to sell the Super Bowl tickets where we beat the Bills at the Rose Bowl. So really, as a 28-year-old, I don't remember the Cowboys actually winning a Super Bowl. They haven't won one that I can remember in my lifetime. I don't mind the Titans. I'm not a fan of them when I covered them, so I kind of covered them objectively, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't a fan. I like the Yankees. My grandfather grew up a Yankees fan. I like the Texas Rangers. We always went to Arlington after my dad got rid of his season tickets and watched the Yankees come into town with Derek Jeter. Yeah. And we did that for about 7 years, stayed for a week, went to all the games there that week and weekend. And so I like both of those teams. I like the Florida Gators. And I like the Memphis Grizzlies in college basketball, and then everything else I like Middle Tennessee because I went there and worked in the athletic department. But you can see how, like in the Gators, the Yankees, and the Cowboys, I was labeled a front runner growing up. But hey, it's been hard being a fan of those teams lately.
Well, what about the Predators in hockey? Are you a hockey fan at all?
I love going to the games. And we went to a lot, me and my wife, when I covered the team, as far as, when I didn't have to work. It is a fantastic spectator sport. It's just hard for me to watch it, full transparency on TV. It's just more of a spectator sport. But, they're playing good this year with a team that we didn't think was going to be that good. So if I had a hockey team of choice, absolutely. It's going to be the Predators, and Sean Henry and them do a fantastic job running that organization. But yeah, it's great going to a game on Broadway.
Well, one other thing we might mention here, Mount Juliet, the Mount Juliet area. Now you got 2 high schools, but Mount Juliet Golden Bears have had their times in the spotlight, football and basketball, and I guess you've been reminded of that a little bit since you've taken the job.
Yes, sir. And Mount Juliet is fantastic. Green Hill has. They made a run in the 5A playoffs, getting all the way to the quarterfinals, and Their coach over there is fantastic, and the field, the atmosphere, I was really impressed. I went to the game where they lost to Page, and I was thoroughly impressed with what they're building out there. And man, that is certainly a rivalry between those two schools, Green Hill and Mount Juliet. And I was certainly impressed. Great crowd, and if they got a team in their second year that goes to the quarterfinals, Lord only knows what they can do next year and moving forward. I think the whole city kind of backed them up, them and Coach Crouch, and I'm looking forward to what they can do in the coming years.
Justin, we're just about out of time. Next time when you're on, be sure and have a report on the latest businesses that have located in Mount Juliet. Kenny always does that, and we don't have time for that, even if that's on your plate today. But anyway, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Great report, and we'll look forward to having you on many more times.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, y'all, and y'all have a great rest of the week. And we love Mount Juliet. Mount Juliet strong this week is the motto.
All right. Justin Beasley, Public Information Officer for City of Mount Juliet. That's part one of Coleman and Company, presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We'll take a break here and more coming up on FM 98.9.
And once again, let's check in with Commander Chuck with On Time Traffic. Find out how we're doing out there on the roadways. And traffic is brought to you by Absolute Kubota. And they feature Red Max with a complete inventory of weed eaters, blowers, and hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner, up to a 4-year warranty. Located at 1506 West Main, and you can give them a call at 615-449-6171 with any questions you may have. Here's Commander Chuck.
Good morning. Heavy traffic developing right on schedule down Vietnam Vets coming through Hendersonville. All the traffic coming out of Gallatin through Sumner County. This time of the morning, it's a minor wreck being cleared at Ellington Parkway at Spring Street. It's also busy on 40 East right now out of Hickman County into Dixon County, where we did see a lot of radar out there about an hour ago around 8:40. Donut Distillery presents Boozin' with Buddy. Stop by their Christmas pop-up bar. Fresh donuts and so much more. Check them out at donutdistillery.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
Hi, I'm Mayor Rick Bell.
And I'm Sarah Haston, your Economic Development Director for the City of Lebanon.
And we're asking each of you to shop Lebanon this Christmas season.
Are you ready for the hustle and bustle, Mayor?
Absolutely. 'Tis the season, and I'm ready to get everyone checked off my list by shopping Lebanon and shopping small.
Well, it's definitely important to support our Lebanon business community.
Indeed. Our Lebanon businesses are the backbone of our community, and they support us all year.
That's right. Let's show some local love at Christmas. We are asking everyone to commit to give back by shopping your local retailers here in Lebanon.
Have a Merry Christmas from all of us at the City of Lebanon.
The Dancing Lights of Christmas and Santa's Village is back for their 12th annual celebration of the magical Christmas season. With over 2 million lights spanning a 2.5-mile route, all perfectly synchronized to some rockin' Christmas tunes, you'll experience the dazzling sights and sounds of the Dancing Lights of Christmas from inside the comfort of your own vehicle. And for the first time ever, helicopter rides are available where you can see the lights dance from the sky. The Dancing Lights of Christmas and Santa's Village at the Wilson County Fairgrounds, 5 p.m. nightly, including all holidays. More info at thedancinglightsofchristmas.com.
Today's forecast calls for a mix of sunny clouds with highs topping out in the mid-60s, so if you have any outdoor plans, nothing to slow you down. On Wednesday, temperatures climb to near 70 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Rain moves in by Thursday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It's a Tuesday morning. We look forward to Sean Dozier's visit every Tuesday because he's here to talk about Hearthside Senior Living. And a good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's always good to have the conversation before we go on air. Basically, it's me listening to you tell a great story. And
well, I've been around a lot.
I enjoy it.
Oh, thank you.
It takes me back to old times.
Well, how are things at Hearthside?
Things are going great. We obviously are in the Christmas spirit. We took a group last night to the dancing lights of Christmas and took a busload, and we enjoyed that. Went around to several neighborhoods and looked at lights, and they really enjoyed that. We stopped, of course, at Mike and Judy's house, and they really enjoyed looking at Mike and Judy's display. That's more than a display. That's I don't know what it is.
Do you wonder, like me, when Mike actually started doing that?
It really is amazing. He does a great job. They always do a great job. It's dedicated to of course, Judy's mom this year, and the residents really enjoyed that. And we saw some of their old places, and they really enjoy going out and seeing things. They don't get out as much as we all do, and so they enjoyed it. We're obviously, we had our Christmas party last week, and they enjoyed that. Betty Kelly, I believe, was here last week, and she did a great job with the Christmas party. But a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people are coming in now. It's great. Last year, we were sort of, sheltered in place. But this year, folks are coming in, bringing gifts and visiting and caroling, and it's just been a great few weeks for us.
Well, you've still got a little time to go here.
We do.
You got anything else coming?
We'll have a couple more parties. A couple more churches are coming out to carol, and a couple more gifts to pass out. So, yeah, a lot of things going on the next 2 weeks. A lot of them will go out, of course, Christmas week or Christmas Day to visit with their families. So that's really nice.
I'm guessing, unless there's sort of an emergency situation, that this week, next week, maybe the following week's a little bit downtime as far as new people coming or inquiring.
Yeah, I'd say so. We have several that are booked for the new year, but obviously during the Christmas season, a lot of families get together and sort of see what's really going on at home, and so we'll get a lot of calls after the holidays. We got a lot of calls after Thanksgiving about mom and dad, so we're available for that if you need more information. We've had a couple of turnovers, so we have a couple small rooms available. So if you're interested, you can tour or go on our website and see what we have available.
Sometimes children come and see their parents and see that they're not exactly as good a shape as they were before.
I think they
need that helping hand.
Well, it's. I guess you have to sort of laugh about it a little bit, but yeah, it is true. Reality of it is, as you get older, you need a little extra help, and that's what assisted livings are for. We're not nursing homes; we're just assisted livings. We just help out with your activities of daily living, and some people are good to go, and some people just need that little extra help with shower, or bathing, and of course we fix their meals for them, their medication they get timely. So it's really just like you say, Coleman, it's a helping hand.
But as far as your retirement community, we'll at least mention that.
Well, let's mention the retirement community. We went up to Cookeville last week with them. We took a busload up there to eat at an Italian restaurant. They were tired of the chicken and dressing, so we had a little Italian last week. They enjoyed that. But yeah, we're full down in the retirement community. Are continuing to take names for a waiting list, but they have a good time down there.
Yeah. Well, variety is the spice.
It is. So, it is.
Get away from that chicken and dressing.
That's right.
After a week of it.
Although I think we're having it Thursday. Jordan's is catering a meal for us down there Thursday, so they'll have a little bit of Christmas dinner Thursday.
You ready for a Hearthside hello?
Sarah Sharp. Yeah, I don't know how many of you know Sarah Sharp. She's a great volunteer in our community, and she's with me in Kiwanis. I left my sunglasses at Kiwanis yesterday, and she was kind enough to pick them up and bring them to me at Hearthside. When you lose something or you forget something, you feel out of whack. So
I wouldn't think you'd ever forget.
Well, I did, and she was nice enough. Most people won't do that. They'll see a pair of sunglasses and they'll just think, whatever. But she picked them up, got in her car, drove to Hearthside, and dropped them off for me. So I really appreciate that.
And it got her a
Hearthside hello. So, hey, it paid off. It paid off.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Sarah, for being kind to Sean.
Yes.
That's what you should have done, but you are at least being rewarded for it with a Hearthside hello.
That's right. She's a great lady.
Okay, that it?
That's it. Thank you very much. Have a great week.
See you next Tuesday. All right. Sean Dozier, he's Executive Director for Hearthside Senior Living. You can go by 215 Castle Heights Avenue North to see him or call 615-443-1994. 21 before the hour, and it's my pleasure to welcome Scott Benson, Director of Schools for the Lebanon Special School District. Good morning.
Hey, Coleman. Good morning to you.
And how are you?
Yeah, doing really well.
You're probably counting down the days.
Well,
if you're not, your students some teachers.
Definitely. You know, and I probably am too. Counting down the days. That's part of the fun of it.
Well, what is the schedule? When's school out?
Yeah, this week actually. We will go this week through Friday, and actually Friday's an abbreviated day for us, just a couple of hours. So, and then we'll pack it up and take it in till
after
January.
After today, there's 3 more days.
That's correct.
And then you come back after the 1st of January, and that Monday is not...
Monday is a PD day for teachers. It's a stockpile day, so I believe that's the 3rd. And so students will come back on January 4th. But nice little break there, and everyone deserves that, I'm sure.
Well, I want to ask you, how is attendance, sickness? We hadn't heard much about that lately.
Yeah, we haven't.
No news is good news.
Yeah, we haven't, and that's a great question, and I updated the board on that last night as well. We monitor that daily. Student attendance has really been good. We've monitored that on a daily basis for a while now, and I can tell you over the last 3-4 weeks, really it's higher. Our attendance rate is higher than normal. Typical would be 5-6% absenteeism for us on any given day. But we've had 3 to 4% absenteeism. So we've been hitting 96-97% present many days over the last few weeks, and that really is surprising. Because there are lots of things going around now other than COVID, and COVID numbers have really been low for several weeks. We've we send a weekly update every Monday for the previous week's data, and I think this yesterday's update that went out, we had 5. We had 5 cases the previous week. They were all student cases. I think the week before that may have been 8. A few weeks before that, we had 3. So our numbers have been really low.
Well, that's a good report.
That is a good report, yeah. And but with other illnesses, there've been flu type, and there've been stomach viruses and those kind of things. But even with that, we've had really good attendance, especially with our students. Our teacher attendance has been strong as well as of late. So that's encouraging.
What else do we need to talk about this morning?
Yeah, well, we did have a board meeting last night, so we can talk about several things probably. But I tell you what, it was good last night to get back to some normalcy for us for a December board meeting. We typically recognize Friends of Education every December, and we did not do that last year, but we did last night, and so that's always a good thing. And I spoke last night to the crowd that was there to be recognized that the saying, Coleman, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to educate a child. And we have so many community partners in our community here that support us and support our children and our families, and we're so appreciative of that. And so every December we do take time to recognize that. If I could, I'd like to mention a few names.
Yes.
So we always recognize a true friend of education from each school, as well as a true business friend of education from each school. So I'll go down through those quickly.
We've got time before we go to break. Let's hear it.
Okay. So from Byers Dowdy, friend of education, we actually had 2, Jamie Forrest and Kayla Colby. Byers Dowdy, our business friend, organization friend, is the Church of the Epiphany. From Castle Heights Elementary, we had Rob and Sherry Meltzer, as well as Farm Bureau and Clint Teasley. From Coles Ferry Elementary, we had Mike Singleton, as well as Action Restoration, and that's Scott Walker. From Jones Brummett Elementary, we had Mary Martindale, as well as Cedarstone Bank. Our friend Bob McDonald was there. It's good to see Bob. From Sam Houston Elementary, we had Jacqueline Hill Carter and Under Armour that we recognized last night. From Walter J. Baird, we had Manette Hancock, as well as Maple Hill Church of Christ. And from Winfrey Bryant Middle School, we had Elizabeth Scruggs, as well as Corporate Contracting. So our principals came up and recognized those folks. We had a nice plaque for them. We took their picture. We're going to get that up on our website here pretty soon and recognize those folks as well. We also had one more district-wide recognition last night, and Daryl Crouch was there with Everyone's Wilson. And so we certainly appreciate Daryl and the work of Everyone's Wilson and connecting people, especially churches, to our different schools to support what we're doing on a daily basis. So it was good to have people in the board meeting and to recognize people that support our schools.
Well, I think we could still have schools and still have our education program without this, but it makes it so much better.
It does. Makes it so much better.
It enhances it, and to have the support. Sometimes just knowing they got your back.
That's right.
It's got to help you as director.
Absolutely, and good, strong relationships there in our community with our schools and our district. We're very appreciative. Yep.
Okay. What else?
Yeah. So we did have a meeting as well last night. I'll highlight a few things, some board business items, as well as some information that I reported out on last night. But one thing that the board took action on last night, we're going to implement a referral bonus for our employees if they recruit successfully classified employees. So our classified employees, Coleman, are the non-certified employees, so not teachers and principals, but employees that would fall under the categories of EAs, bookkeepers, secretaries, food service, SACC workers, transportation workers, and just like everybody else in our, community and across the state and probably farther, we're having trouble employing people. And so if I'm a cafeteria worker, for instance, we assume that you would want to recruit someone good to work along beside you to do your job. Mm-hmm. And so our HR department worked on this for few weeks to try to put together a good plan. And so the board approved this last night. So starting in January, we're going to promote this amongst our employees and ask them to recruit good people for us. And if they do that, they can earn up to a $500 referral bonus as an employee. How about that?
I think that is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to think anybody, just like you say, you want some good people to work beside you, and if you can get a bonus for bringing them in,
absolutely,
doesn't get much better.
Absolutely. So there are a few catches, obviously. So if I recruit somebody and they successfully complete 90 days of employment, I would receive my first installment of $250 if I recommended somebody. And then at the conclusion of the school year, if they are still employed, I would then get an additional $250.
Right.
So, somebody can't just come and sign on and leave the next day.
Sure.
And let that happen. But we're pretty excited about this. We hope this is going to help in some areas, especially where we've struggled a little bit as of late, and that would be in the areas of SACC and food service employees, and little added bonus for our good, strong employees that are referring people as well.
Okay. Time for us to take a break. Scott Benson, Director of Schools for Lebanon Special School District, is here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And now let's check back in with Commander Chuck with On-Time Traffic, find out how we're doing out there on the roadways. Traffic brought to you by Bates Ford, located at 1673 West Main Street. And they got that oil change special going on, $24.95 up to 5 quarts plus tax and disposal. And you can give them a call at 444-8221. And once again, it's Commander Chuck.
Good morning. I'm looking at a crash out here. May have some injuries on 65 southbound at the West Loop. Again, it's already busy enough over here on 65 trying to get off on the Metro Center at Rosa Parks. The fire department's here. They've got a lane of traffic blocked as we check it out live. That's 65 southbound. Again, just past Rosa Parks there at the West Loop. Traffic's busy, but it's moving down I-40 coming in from Mount Juliet. Just busy out here where you pretty much would expect. 24 coming in from the Jolton area. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Log on to GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on-time traffic.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
It's Pittsburgh week. The Titans travel to Heinz Field this Sunday. Titans Countdown presented by Farm Bureau Health Plan starts at 11. Then the Titans and the Steelers do battle where the three rivers converge. Mike Keith and Dave McGinnis have the call that starts at noon. These games are physical. Hear it all here.
Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Ball Plumbing, the Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee. 811. Call before you dig.
This is Titans Radio, 98.9 WANT.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and our thanks always to Scott Benson. You are always here, or you send a representative.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate that. Oh, reliable.
Yeah. I do remember, Coleman, one time we had something come up on a Thursday morning when I was supposed to be here, something that required my attention, and I called Nancy Ash. She was assistant director of schools at the time. And I said, Nancy, can you please call out there and just participate and talk to Coleman, because I've got to take care of this other thing. So that's the only time I could remember that something like that happened. But if I can't be here, we have other people that can.
Well, my way of thanking you, and I can say that about most of my regular guests. We really appreciate that, because we need you regulars. It's hard enough to fill in the blanks.
Oh yeah, and I enjoy coming. I really do.
Well, thank you.
And people do listen. I hear in the community all the time. Heard you on the radio.
Well, let's pick up where we left off. You had a board of education meeting, LSSD meeting last night, and I don't think you're through talking about it.
I did. You hear that feedback or something, Coleman? Something distracted me.
Well. Yes, I don't know what to do about it.
Hey, but so we had a couple other business items. We're going to do an RFP for a new financial auditor. Our auditor has been with us for years, has informed us after this school year they're no longer going to be in the business, so we're going to put out an RFP for that. We'll do that soon. Our middle schools will often take educational trips, many to Washington, D.C. in the past. We've got Walter J. requested last night, because it's an overnight field trip. They have to have board approvals. We're going to take a trip next year to Boston, so our 8th graders will get to experience that next year at Walter J. Had several items that I reported on to the board last night.
Hi, I'm Mark Hinesley, president of the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. What are your favorite small businesses or restaurants
just
in
the
Lebanon?
First semester, and we talked about earlier our numbers and our attendance, and so that was part of that. We had a little bit of a rough start within a week or two of school starting, and we had the COVID issue that we had to deal with pretty strongly there, but we settled in. We've had a great first semester, Coleman. We mentioned that it's ending this week. We've been having school at a very high level, getting back to our instructional practices that we really got away from last year just because we couldn't, with small groups with students and interventions with students and some of the practices that we know are effective. So we're back to doing those things, and it just feels good. I'll tell you what, another thing that we're back to the last several days and continuing this week, having parents in the building for Christmas programs and holiday sing-alongs and those kind of things. So we had some of those going on last week, have many going on this week as well. So that just feels good. I'll mention this to you, Coleman. You'll probably think this is interesting. Mention earlier the referral program for employees. And also, HR shared with me a week or so ago, last school year, the 2021 school year, we hired 40 new people across the district. And I think that's pretty typical, employees throughout the school year to start the school year. This school year, the 21-22 school year, to date, so just at the halfway point, we've already hired over 100 new employees.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of factors would impact that. One, we opened a new school, Jones Brummett, so that would have somewhat of an impact there. But, most of our teaching staff came from existing schools, so not as much as you may think. But it's just hard to hire people and to keep people right now. So we've had a lot of people coming and going, and not especially in some of the hard to fill classified positions that I spoke of earlier. So the folks in HR have been busy onboarding people this year to employ them in the school district. So that's unusual for us to experience that.
But you have good benefits. You have some of the best benefits.
We do, and
I think you pay well.
Teacher wise, we do. We're still working on our classified salaries and pay, and we've increased that over the last few years as well. So we're in a lot better shape than we used to be. We're still not where we want to be, and we still don't pay teachers what we need to be. But we do. We rank very high across the state when it comes to teacher pay. Hey, and I also gave an update on our clinic, speaking of benefits, and that's a terrific benefit for our employees this year that's brand new, our employee clinic, medical clinic. And we've been staying really busy there. Gave a little information to the board on that last night as well, that we are averaging about 16 visits per day to our employee medical clinic to date, and this was mid-November when we put these numbers together, but we had 859 visits to the clinic. We've had over 203 prescriptions that we have given out, numerous labs, injections. We've had 8 work comp visits to the clinic. So speaking of benefits, that's just a wonderful, terrific benefit that we continue to receive positive feedback on.
Let me ask you about sports, because you have there's quite a number of sports opportunities, and especially with your middle schools, with Walter J. and
Winfrey Bryant.
Has you had many challenges there? Has things gone pretty well the first half of the school year?
Things have gone really well, extremely well. Very few challenges when it comes to COVID, I guess that's what you're referring to. You had that look in your eye. I recognize that look. Last year we did have some challenges, and we had to work through those. So that was very difficult, actually, last year. But this year been very smooth in that aspect, and had a good fall sports season into winter last night. I actually, after the board meeting, stopped in for a little bit over at Walter J. Baird. They were having their homecoming game against Mount Jewett Middle, so got to watch a little bit of that. So sports have gone really well to this point. That's a good question, and one would wonder how that has gone. But we've been successful, and that goes right along with our low numbers as well.
Well, you don't have too much attrition with your coaches, do you?
Coaching we actually do, and it's hard to get coaches. It's hard to get coaches at the high school level now, and that it's especially hard to get coaches at the middle school level. So we do have some long-term coaches that have been with us for a while that do a great job, but we go through periods where we find it difficult to find coaches. So that's an issue. Sure is.
What about bus drivers right now?
Okay. You always ask that, Coleman. You want to drive a bus?
It's been a problem for a while.
It has. Could we persuade you to come drive a bus?
but they are necessary, although I don't, the law doesn't require you to provide transportation, does it?
That is correct. That would be correct.
But you do.
But we do provide it, and knock on wood, we're very thankful that we have not missed a bus route as a result of being short-staffed. And we've had to be very creative on certain days, because bus drivers experience life as well. So, we're at the point where we have just enough. Coleman, we have just enough to make it happen, and then we have just a few employees, a couple of assistant principals and our transportation director that can drive a bus as well if we get in a jam. And so, if a bus driver gets sick, or they have an appointment, or they have to go out of town for some reason, we have to still run that route. So we're always looking for bus drivers to that point. And so if you're looking for a job, especially with us, it's minimal time commitment, because it's an hour, a little bit more, maybe a little bit less in the morning, about the same thing in the afternoon, because we have short routes within our small district. And you can also pick up extra if you want to, with extracurricular activities. We mentioned sports. Athletic teams are always going. We have a couple of different routes that go during the day. for different reasons. So always looking for bus drivers. So I really appreciate you bringing that up every time, because I probably wouldn't remember that. But call us at the office if you are interested in that.
Got about a minute and a half. What else you want to tell us to close out with this morning?
I'll close with this. Enrollment update and growth. We're always monitoring that. I had a meeting with the city folks, Paul Corder over there in his office, in the planning office, just a few weeks ago. I have to do that periodically just to keep up with the growth that's going on in town. Coleman, you see it. Everybody, we're all experiencing that.
You see. People are going to live there.
People living there.
There's going to be children going to school.
They're going to be coming to our schools. And so we monitor that closely. And from last month, we were up 12 students. From the previous month, the previous month, we were up 27 students. So we've got a slow, steady growth. Seems like this school year, every few weeks, we've had to add a teacher. We had to create a position because as we add students, that increases our student-teacher ratio, and we want to have low student-teacher ratios, and we do in our district. Of course, we have to be compliant with the state numbers as well. But so keeping a close eye on that and trying to stay ahead of the curve, so to speak, I guess, with the growth and building schools and that sort of thing. So good report for you this morning, and good report for the board last night, and wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and glad to be here, Coleman.
Things are looking up, really. Seriously, it is a good report. And I have an idea. It's a little bit weight has gone off your shoulders.
It has. It has.
And that's good, too.
It is. There's always the responsibility and the weight of the shoulders of everyday school, but the COVID aspect of that, and we've got the new variant. I just want to be realistic here for 1 second. The new variant, we do see trends across the state, even in our county numbers across the county. We have a little uptick in the trend there, but we'll watch that closely as well.
Well, have a great holiday period and rest up, and we'll see you in January.
Sir. Thank you.
And that's it for Tuesday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Wednesday edition. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.